So this is a Mercian flag on the edge of Borrowash in Derby. Obviously waiting for it to fly properly and then you can get a good shot. I don't think it's going to happen. So what's this? The Olympics. Don't know if it's someone from the village or city that's representing the UK. We got the international flags there. 5 rings. Gold, silver and bronze. Why not, eh? So you've got Elm Street here. So the logic behind me taking this photo would be, so in some dystopian future, Elm triggers people because it's linked to Freddy Krueger, mortgages in the background because no one's going to afford one in the future. And people forget what they were, so it's like a record of what it was. And just a bit of local dialect, so you got cobs there by the chippy. So cob actually stands for Circle of Bread, so I'm not sure what barn stands for in North North, but that's the one in Derbyshire in the Midlands. And that's our local bakery in the East Midlands. And where I was just before, there's actually someone with a petition because there's apparently a load of pharmacies shutting down. I haven't seen any evidence of it myself, but you know, did remind me of Judge Dredd, where there's no pharmacies left or medicine, etc. It's very hard to get hold of. It's got quite a nice ring to it, Borrowash in bloom. Quite a traditional view, got a butcher's there, and then the Lonely Bar pub just to the next of it, Chinese, and back onto the high street. So yeah, obviously after Queen Victoria, bit of wind blowing. It's worth saying the Mercian flag, obviously being in the Midlands, is obviously regiment and must have been to do with the Armed Forces Day. Used to be the Worcestershire and Surrey Foresters, the Staffordshire Regiment, before it got amalgamated around 2007. There is potential for another amalgamation in the future, so the Mercians might become the Infantry Regiment Midlands or something like that. But that's what our flag's about anyway. And it goes back to the ancient Anglo-Saxon kingdoms with Mercia. Similar to the Polish flag actually, with the 2-headed eagle. And there's a great example of the steady decline of the UK. The Wilmot Arms, long shut down. Looking at this, long boarded up. But then again, I don't know why it's shut down, but there you go. Quite ironic actually, it's called a People's Pub. If you look on the half crescent, obviously you're not going to get any people in there now, are you? And that's the idea, just breaking up communities. Yeah, speaking to a local then, apparently it's been shut for about 5 years now. The previous owner moved to Spondon, but funnily enough I remember there was a pub in Spondon that went the same way, shut down, and then it completely got demolished and a lot of houses went on it and no one ever would know what was there before, so that's why I do this. Hopefully the camera, the ISO will pick it up, but the sky is pretty hideous today. So that's a normal cloud and you got all this chalky stuff here. The logic with recording something like this, Barron's Way, if you remember the Magna Carta, obviously in Little Dunmow in Essex the other day. So in order to get rid of history, eradicate it, take these street signs away, and no one can ever think about rebelling like the Barons did against King John. So that's why it's worth recording these things. This is on the busy main high street. Got a church up the top, Methodist church. So presumably this was the old A52. Worthy of a mention, there's been loads of St George's all across Borrowash, having a wander around. But I can't help but wonder, obviously now Labour's in, what the future's going to entail, because you got that lot in charge now, and they are not on side with St George or England or Britain or Europe even. They're on the side of making some big global dystopian nightmare. So the future will, future will tell a story. We'll see what happens. This is walking along the Derby Canal path. Just check behind me. You never know if you're being followed. Always worth to have a look. But talking about the geography and geographical features of the area, this is, for me, coming towards the end of Eastern England. East Midlands, Eastern England. East England begins around Huntingdon, Arundel in Northamptonshire, where it gets very watery. Obviously, that's starting to come out now, isn't it? All the black currants. But yeah, you can see all this sort of marshy land, because if you keep pushing west, obviously towards Staffordshire, it gets extremely hilly. And if you go north of here, up the A38 from Little Eaton roundabout, you start hitting the hills of northern England, sort of round as soon as Belper really, Milford, after Duffields, Ripley, it gets very hilly as soon as you leave Derby. So Derby to me is a crossroads basically, between heading to northern England, heading west towards Staffordshire and Western England and Wales, and Eastern England. But yeah, so this marshy sort of lowland is a great example. Spondon train station, but it's always got to be commented on. I think that's 100 years ago, and people think we're evolving. Just look at how smart they all are. Obviously, the modern age, you saw the wrong demographic. Obviously, straight white men. Incredible how fast the seasons go. We're not far away from midway in summer already, and already you've got the obvious signs of autumn coming through. I mean, summer's far from over, but autumn will still soon be upon us. Endless cycle.